Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to African Metaphysical Center for Spiritual Healing, Body, Mind, and Spirit Development. I am your host, Kufu Amen Ra, your metaphysical practitioner, Reiki master, Qigong instructor, Bond practitioner, and mystic. Today's topic is we must get back to spiritual. You know, everything they told you about why you're here is a lie. Let me break it down for you. All our lives, we've been fed the same script. Get good grades, go to a nice college, land a great career, buy the big house, stack the money. And that's supposed to be the happy life. That's the finish line they pointed us to. But look around you. People have the degrees, the careers, the houses, the bank accounts, and they're still empty. Still anxious at 2 a.m., still scrolling, still striving, still asking, is this it? That's because none of that was ever the actual point. It was the distraction. We weren't put on this earth to accumulate, to collect titles, square footage, and zeros in our bank accounts. We were put here to wake up and remember, to reconnect with something far deeper than a paycheck and a mortgage. Call it spirit, call it soul, call it God, call it source. It doesn't matter what name you give it. What matters is that we buried it. We buried it under deadlines, under debt, under comparison, under a highlight reel that was never real to begin with. We traded stillness for hustle. We traded presence for productivity. We traded the sacred for the material. We were taught to chase everything outside of us and told almost nothing about the world within us. And that trade is why so many people who made it still feel lost. You can win the whole game they handed you and still feel like you lost yourself doing it. It's time we stop chasing the script and start returning to the source. Back to stillness, back to meaning, back to spirit, back to why we are actually here. This isn't about quitting your job or giving away your house. No, it's about remembering that none of that was ever supposed to be the point. It was supposed to be the byproduct of a life lived in alignment, not the replacement for one. So, how do you actually find your way back? You don't need a mountain retreat or a complete life overhaul to start. You need to start small, and you need to start honest. First, get quiet. Actually quiet. No phone, no noise, no distraction. 5 minutes a day is sitting with yourself, uninterrupted, will show you more truth than a decade of scrolling ever will. This is where you start to hear yourself think again. Second, ask better questions. Stop asking, how do I get more? And start asking, what actually matters to me? Not what your parents wanted, not what social media glorifies. What matters to you underneath all the noise. Third, pay attention to what makes you feel alive versus what makes you feel numb. Alive isn't always comfortable. Growth rarely is. But numb is the feeling of autopilot, of going through motions that were handed to you instead of chosen by you. Start noticing the difference. Fourth, reconnect with something bigger than yourself. Prayer, meditation, nature, service, community. Whatever form it takes for you, it matters. Spirituality isn't a destination you arrive at once. It's a muscle. You build it by returning to it daily, imperfectly, consistently. Fifth, release the guilt of slowing down. You were never lazy for wanting peace. You were just taught that rest and stillness were the enemy of success. They're not. They are the doorway back to yourself. This isn't a one-time awakening. It's a daily choice. Every single day you get to choose. Chase the noise or return to truth. Choose the truth. Choose spirit. Choose yourself. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.